essentially the proof will be in the pudding when you unveil your own budget for this administration. Essentially, then we'll see whether or not life gets breathed into a lot of the ideas that you have and a lot of the promises that you've made to the people of Johannesburg.
Absolutely, and fortunately enough, I will be presenting that budget on the 25th of this month. And I'm asking and inviting the residents of Johannesburg, please watch us for that budget. We are committed, they have committed 60% of our capital budget will go into the poorer areas so that we give dignity to those communities. You will look when I unveil this budget, you look at the programs that we've got in the different communities throughout our city. But at the same time, very important is to ensure that we invest in repairs and maintenance, because this infrastructure that has been neglected all these years, we need to ensure that we can revamp it.
Right, that is Herman Mashaba, the Johannesburg mayor, leading us through his thoughts on his inaugural State of the City address. Plenty of food for thought, and interestingly enough, a call for coalition governments on a national scale come 2019. Continuing our coverage with Mayor Herman Mashaba in his inaugural State of the City address, 9 months into government, and while a lot of the mistakes of the past administration have been uncovered, attention now turns to what exactly this administration will do for its term in office. Mayor Mashaba, lead us through a couple of your plans in the immediate future. In the next 6 months, what are you hoping to achieve tangibly? What can Johannesburg residents look forward to measure whether or not the new administration is fulfilling its promises?
Well, Nickolaus, as I've earlier indicated, 60% of our budget is unfortunately, or fortunately, in fact, I think let us say fortunately, is going to go into the poor areas. 181 informal settlements with no basic services whatsoever. So you will see the areas where we're going to be giving dignity to those people, electrifying those those settlements, ensuring that people get water and sewer, get roads, give them title deeds to the stands. One of the project I'm actually quite excited about, we're going to be running a pilot project on identifying pieces of land. We've already identified 3 pieces of land. I will announce it with my budget, where we are going to service this piece of land, where we have roads, electricity, sewer, and allow our people to build for themselves, to give them title deeds. We don't have to build them this failed system of RDP houses. So in this way, we will be able to give more of our people the dignity of actually owning a property in the city of Johannesburg. So some of those are some of the projects that I think I'm personally excited about.
You also trumpeted the fact that you launched an anti-drug unit within the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department. You trumpeted a lot of achievement there, over 500 arrests, seizure of over 100 kilograms of drugs. We still do have a pernicious problem in a lot of parts of the city of Johannesburg. I'm thinking about places like Hillbrow, Florida, Westbury, where drugs remain a real problem. What plans does the JMPD drug unit, in your mind, have to try and sort out the issues?
You know, Nickolaus, drug problem, we can only successfully deal with it the day when we can stabilize our communities. Firstly, make sure that our youth are employed so that they have a reason to wake up every morning, go to work. They see their parents, their mothers and fathers waking up, going to work. If we don't achieve that, it'll be almost impossible to deal with this drug scourge that our city is facing. But on a short-term basis, that's for that reason, as soon as I took over, re-established the K9 narcotics unit to ensure that we harshly deal with the drug laws in particular. But at the same time, come out with short-term intervention measures where we're going to be using 5 of the clinics where we can assist as an intervention measure to some of our youth who are already victims of this case. But I think for me, honestly and truly believe that the only way we're going to win with this case is to ensure that we provide employment to our people. We focus on education that can give people dignity. Because if you look at someone living in an informal settlement who's never worked for the last 10, 15 years, that man or woman, can they really have the dignity? That's why there are easy praise to this drug laws. Also at the same time, an issue that, remember, I had a discussion with you a few weeks ago around this open borders. South Africa cannot succeed as a country if we're going to allow national government to have these porous borders, because it makes it really very difficult when people come into this country illegally, and the national government is not interested, not even prepared to cooperate with us to ensure that please close our borders. So I think it's really one of those challenges that the city of Johannesburg is facing.
You have faced a lot of criticism for your very tough stance on what you deem as an open border policy and xenophobia and problems emanating from illegal immigrants and foreign nationals coming into the city. Some argue that you should concentrate more on immediate service delivery, fixing potholes, ensuring that people have running water, and not bother yourself with things like xenophobia and illegal immigrants. What's your response?
I think people who are obviously critical of what we are saying are people that wants to destroy this city and this country, taking you not to really focus on the real issues. Because when you sit with so many people in your city that you don't know who they are, what are the chances of ever succeeding? Where bylaws and laws nationally are not respected. You cannot run a successful country or city without the respect for the rule of law. Look at successes of all the nations throughout the 2,000 years of mankind development. The rule of law is key. So anyone who expects South Africa, the city of Johannesburg, to ignore the rule of law and focus on those issues, they're not going to happen unless you deal with the rule of law.
So are you going to expand policing within the JMPD there, or are there other plans to ensure that the rule of law is upheld in your city?
Well, fortunately enough, I've already engaged the national government, the deputy judge president regarding the setting up municipal courts. So with the national government not working with us closely, supporting our efforts, so it is important that I, with immediate effect, bring back municipal court so that I can deal with some of the issues of the bylaws infringements in the city of Johannesburg. So I'm excited with this project. We will be launching it with this soon, and the judiciary in this country is very excited with this. They want to give us more support so that we open more and more of these issues, so that when you break our bylaws, there must be consequences. You cannot just really turn this city into a jungle. This city has got to be the city where people respect our laws. And those that don't respect, to know that there will be consequences.
You delivered the speech from this state-of-the-art council chamber behind you here. It really is a magnificent piece of infrastructure and architecture, but you did bemoan the fact that it cost 360 million rand, and you wondered what else could have been spent with that money? What else could have been bought with that money by the city to ensure a better life for our citizens?
Yeah, well, I think when I took over this government, the first day already, watching this from my office, and I needed to ask, what is this? And they tell me they're building new council chamber. And then I looked at our balance sheet, I looked at the backlog in our city, and I said to myself, who took this decision? Did they actually know that we've got 841 informal settlements with people with no services whatsoever? You know what you can do with the 360 million rands? 360 million rands, you can easily build over 3,000 houses. You can provide infrastructure of roads, electricity, this aging infrastructure that we've inherited. That's what 360 million rands can do. Do we really need this? Look, it is here right now. We have to appreciate it because we can't break it down. I think it will be irresponsible. But at the end of the day, there's a question I'm asking. Whoever took this decision, were they not aware of the backlog, infrastructure backlog in this city?
Herman Mashaba, would you agree with some people saying, what type of a message are you sending out to the people of Johannesburg hosting a lavish lunch after making calls to try and use your money to the best of your administration's ability to deliver to the people of Johannesburg, and to criticize previous administrations for wasting money?
It's interesting. Is that really lavish? Did you see the type of food, the bare minimum food that we can offer to our people? At the end of the day, our people need to eat. We don't live on fresh air. But look at the cost. Please do yourself a favor. Look at the cost of this State of the Nation address compared to last year. I can tell you, what we spent today is not even 25% of what was spent just a year ago.
Last but not least, the opposition in the city of Johannesburg, the ANC, they've been giving you a tough time. Sometimes it's turned violent, sometimes it's landed up in fisticuffs and blood being spilled. What's your message to the opposition in the city of Johannesburg?
I would really advise and appeal to the ANC to accept the outcome of the 3rd of August 2016 elections. People have voted them out of power, and it's up to them as Democrats, people who claim to be believing in democracy. Please respect the wishes of the residents of our city.
Well, unpacking the inaugural State of the City address by Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba, a meaty document, but the proof will be in the pudding when he delivers his budget in the weeks to come.